What is up, DTube? What is up, Steam blockchain? So today I want to do a video talking about why relationships are complicated. Why relationships are complicated, and especially how it relates to the modern era of the internet. So we humans are designed to live in tribes with the same people, not change people all the time or have too many people, because why is that the case? Why can't we have 1 billion friends? It sounds good on paper. It really sounds good on paper. Why not just have 1 billion friends? Well, the problem comes down to communication, and that's we're different. Communication. To build networks, we have fancy ideas. Oh, you just need to network. You just need to network. You just need to go to network events or go to a place where people network. But to really build human relationships, there sort of is a cap on how much we can take in, how much we can focus on. And I would say that it probably is, if you talk about really deep relationships, it probably is around 5. So you can have a lot of surface layer relationships, and I think that number is around 150 or so. But if you talk about deeper relationships, it probably more is around 5. Okay, so the big thing with the internet, a big marketing with the internet is, oh, we're gonna connect you to the whole world. You have access to everyone, and you're gonna know everything about everything. But what probably is gonna happen more is people just gonna get confused. There's just too much stuff going on. So people, instead of doing better networking, they're just gonna turn it off because it's just too much stuff going on, and there's too little time to build networks with hundreds or thousands of people. So we get this sort of situation where relationships can be seen as very complicated, especially in the internet era, because one thing with the internet is you communicate with people, and but you're not there. You don't see their face. You don't really know who they are, really. You don't know that much about them, or basically you really don't know much. There's not that much you know, basically. And this, even if people say a lot, I mean, what do you know really? I mean, you can only make up meanings from your present experience. It's because we can only, let's say a person watch a video, yeah, we can see sort of in a way the physical environment and stuff like that, but we don't know exactly how the experience is for that person or what they're doing in life and all of this. So this topic of relationships, why it can be very problematic, is because I think eventually we're gonna get to this phase where people are only gonna focus on maybe, and I think it's already happening right now, but I think the follower thing is gonna go away, because there's really not gonna be much point in having tons of followers. If you can just have a few connections and then you're good, would say you connect with a few people and then you're good. I think that's eventually where it's gonna come down to, and then this whole follower thing is gonna go away. Because why did people desire a lot of followers? Well, it was mainly because they wanted to sort of profit on that, but eventually you'll be able to profit on just a small group of people. And I mean, we already see it right now. I mean, we are really doing it with technology, where a person can instead focus on a few things instead of trying to go big and know everything. And we sort of see what happens when a person tries to focus on everything. If you try to focus on everything, we see it. A lot of explanations, and people try to make conclusions about stuff because everyone comes from a limited perception, right? So it becomes problematic when we try to use our intellect to understand sort of everything, but we can't really do that because there is just too much stuff going on. So yeah, relationships can become very problematic, and the reason why I wanted to talk a little bit about that in a video here is because well, I think it is something that a lot of people are realizing. A lot of people are realizing it, and what I think, as I said, I think people should focus on just maybe 5 people. Just focus on 5 people, and you're good. Like, we're basically doing the same thing as we did in the real world, on the internet space, basically. So focus on around 5 people, and that doesn't mean that a person shouldn't take in other stuff, but we clearly have an information overload. There is too much stuff. There's too much information basically coming, and if a person basically has too much information coming in without having experiences themselves in their life, that can kind of confuse them. Because, I don't know, information can just be noise. Like, that radio noise, where when you don't have, when it's just shh, kind of like that. That's kind of like how a lot of information is on the internet. It is shh. It's just nothing. It's just nothing. And everyone tries to play it up because everyone's trying to network or build relationships. Everyone is sort of trying to hype stuff up. They want every day to be sensational. That's something clickbaity. That something should happen. Something dramatic needs to happen every day. But it's not really realistic. And I think it's good that in many ways people show that if I'm out here in nature, stuff is pretty good. It's not like the internet. It's not like the internet where it's chaos every day. It's kind of calm. It's kind of chill. Nature is chill. But human relationships, a big aspect with human relationships, and I think also that happens, is we are memory blocks. We collect memory. I'm not saying that our so-called soul is memory. It's probably something else. We can call it consciousness or awareness or something, but we are memory blocks. That means other humans are also memory blocks. That means if we sort of try to do a lot of half-based relationships, it's going to be a lot of memory blocks, kind of like these Bitcoin blocks. A lot of memory blocks, which is going to be sort of half filled. Imagine a Bitcoin transaction which was only half done. that is sort of what happens when we make half relationships with other humans, when it's not really, I don't know, it's just, it's not really, let's say, genuine, authentic relationships, where it's just, I don't know, it's and I think in a big way to building so-called real relationships, I mean, people surely have to show something about themselves, right? Have to show something, probably. So at least a person can get some information, even though it's still very little. It's still very little. It still is a mystery, but I think that if people, you see it as, instead of trying to create so many relationships and try to nice with everyone, and everyone has to comment here, and everyone has to do this and this and this. If everyone is focused on a few people, 5 people, and empower them, you're good. Like you're doing what you can do, right? And it doesn't have to be more complicated than that. And I also think the internet sort of, in many ways, needs to be, I mean, everyone's talking about it, like, we need a new internet. But what I think what we need is just more life. Just more genuine stuff, more authentic stuff. And there's a lot of sneaking around, and it's kind of weird. I want to see more genuine, authentic humans. Humans is being humans. Like, right now with the internet, because it works so good, a person can just, they don't have to do anything fancy. They can just be themselves, and you're really good, because you probably have some unique thing that someone else is gonna learn from. And even that, if it's just one person, I mean, that's good, right? That's good. That's really good. One person that learns something from you, that's kind of cool. And people have to realize also that, you know, we're just human. Yeah, we're just human. Or no, I shouldn't say that, actually. That's pretty bad to say, because I heard this great quote, because human is not a small thing, okay? Being a human is super. Like, there's no such thing as a superhuman. It's just being human is super. We can do a lot of things, and we haven't even begun to explore it. But the cool thing is, the time we are moving into, being a human being is going to be, really, really high value. It's going to be the biggest value. The biggest value on this planet is going to be being a human being. Like, up to this point, it's just been survival. I mean, we haven't even started yet. We haven't even started life yet. Or, we have started life, but it was mainly survival for thousands of years. We just focus on survival. But now, it's being time. And that means there's a lot of stuff we haven't explored. Because, like, whoa, we are on a planet. I can do a video. I'm some consciousness thing. There's a lot of things going on here. There's more stuff going on here than just blockchains and tokens. And that's kind of cool. So yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit about that. I'm not sure if this video got the message out, but I wanted to say, yeah, relationships can be problematic. They can be complicated. Because we're memory blocks, and if we try to do too many relationships and you just do it half or sort of fake or artificial, it is, I don't know, it's fake, it's boring, it's lame. Some genuine try, at least if a person is trying a little bit more, going with a relationship, if they're trying to push it a little bit forward, trying to do something else, that's kind of cool, right? That's kind of cool. Yeah. So, yeah, talking a little bit here. Hopefully you enjoyed. Have an awesome day, YouTube and Steam blockchain. Bye-bye.